Okay, so good morning everyone. Our topic for today is about project human resource management, right? So of course, in human resource management is one of the most important also in the project management or project development. No? So we're looking forward to explain the importance, no, of good human resource management on projects, including the current state and future implications of human resource management, especially in the information technology projects. Now, we can define project human resource management and understand its processes, summarize the key concept for managing people by understanding different theories, no? Discuss the human resource management planning, no, and be able to create a project organizational chart, responsibility assignment matrix, and resource histogram. We also understand the importance of important issues, no, involved in project staff acquisition, and explain the concept of resource assignment, resource loading, and resource leveling. We can assist in the team development with training, team building activities, and reward systems, and explain and apply several tools and techniques to help manage a project team, and summarize general advice on managing teams, and describe on how project management software can assist in project human resource management. Many corporate executives, no, have said people are our most important asset because people determine the success and failure of organization in project. Most project managers agree that managing human resources effectively is one of the toughest challenges they face. No? Project human resource management is a vital component of project management, especially in the information technology field. So in which qualified people are often hard to find and keep. And it is important to understand the current state of human resource management in the information technology industry and its implication for the future. Okay, to give us more idea about project human resource management, Ms. Renabel, take it away.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to present about the project human resource management. Project human resource management includes a process required to make the most effective use of the people involved with the project. Human resource management includes all project stakeholders, sponsors, customers, project team members, support staff, suppliers supporting the project, and so on. Next, please. The importance of the human resource management. So many corporate executives have said, people are our most important asset. So people determine the success and failure of organizations and projects. Most of the project managers agree that managing human resource effectively is one of the toughest challenges they face. Next, please. So there is the global IT workforce and implications for the future of IT human resource management. The global IT workforce is the labor market has had its ups and downs. There will always be a need for people to develop and maintain IT hardware, software, networks, and applications. And the global market for IT workers is expanding, and the demand for project managers continues to increase. The implications for the future of IT human resource management. Is it crucial for the organizations to practice what they preach about human resources? If people truly are their greatest assets, the organization must work to fulfill their human resource needs and the needs of the individual people in the organizations, regardless of the job market. So if the organizations want to implement IT projects successfully, so they need to understand the importance of the project human resource management and make effective use of people. Next, please. So there's the keys managing to leading people. So industrial organization psychologists and management theories have devoted extensive research and thought to be field of managing and leading people at work. So social issues that affect how people work and how they will work include motivations, influence, and power, effectiveness, emotional intelligence, and leadership. Next, please. So the motivation theories is the psychologists, the managers, coworkers, teachers, parents, and most people in the general struggle to understand what motivates people to do what they do. In Maslow hierarchy of need in Abraham Maslow, a highly respected psychologist who rejected the dehumanizing negativism of psychology in 1950s, is best known for developing the hierarchy of needs. So here is the example. As you can see the pyramid, you can see the Maslow hierarchy of needs. You can see the self-actualization, esteem, love and belonging, safety, and sociological needs. So the Herberg's motivation hidden theory, Frederick Herberg's, is the best known for the distinguishing between the motivation factors and hidden factors when considering motivation in work settings. He preferred two factors that cause job satisfaction as motivators and factors that could cause dissatisfaction as hidden factors. So here's the example of Hertzberg's motivation and hidden factors. There's the achievement, recognition, the work itself, responsibility, advancement, and growth. And then there is a company policies, supervision, relationships, work conditions, salary, status, and security. Next, please. Influence and power. Many people working on a project do not report directly to the project managers, and project managers often do so do not have control over project staff who reported them. So the authority, there's in the keys to managing leading people, there's the authority. The number one is the authority, the legitimate hierarchy right to issue orders. Number two is the assignment, the project manager's perceived ability to influence the worker later work assignments. Number three is a budget, the project manager's perceived ability to authorize others' use of discretionary funds. Four is promotion, the ability improves a worker's position. Five is funding, the ability to increase a worker's pay and benefits. Penalty, the project manager's perceived ability to dispense or cause punishment. The seven is work challenge, the ability to assign work that capitalize on a worker's enjoyment of doing a particular task and taps the intrinsic motivation factor. Eight is expertise, the project manager's perceived special knowledge that others deem important. Lastly is friendship, the ability to establish friendly personal relationship between the project manager and others. The emotional intelligence, as the title suggests, Howard Gardner book's frame of mind. The theory of multiple intelligence introduced the concept of using more than one way to think of the measure human intelligence. So it's the leadership. As a leader, focus on long-term and big picture object while inspiring people to reach the goals. The visionary, where the group is going, but lets them decide how to get there by they're free to innovate, experiment, and take calculate risks. Two is coaching, one-on-one style that focuses on developing individuals, showing them how to improve their performance. Affinitives emphasize the importance of teamwork and creating harmony. Democratic focuses on people's knowledge and skills and creates a commitment to reach shared goals. Phase setting used to set high standards for performance. Commanding is the most often used, also called the autocratic or militant style leadership. Project organizations chart. So this is the project organization charts. As you can see, there is a leader and a project manager. So recall from chapter 2 and the nature of IT projects often means that project team members come from the different backgrounds and possess a wide variety of skills. It can be very difficult to manage such a diverse group of people. So it is important to provide a clear organizational structure of a project. So after identifying important skills and the types of the people needed to stop a project, the manager should work with top management and project team members to create the organizational chart for the project. Next, please. So the responsibility assignment matrices. After developing an OBS, the project manager can be developed responsibility assignment matrix. Maps the work of the project as described in the WBS to the people responsible for performing the work as described OBS. This is depending on the desired level or of the detail. For smaller projects, it is assigned individual people to WBS activities for every large project and most effective to assign the work of organizational units or team. Next, please. Staffing management plan and resource histograms. So a staffing management plan describes when and how people will be added to the project team and taken off it. The level of the detail may vary based on the type of the project. For example, if an IT project is expected to need 100 people on average over a year, the staffing management plan would describe the type of people need to work on a project, such as a Java programmers, business analysts, and technical writers, and the number of type of person needed each month. So the plan would be also describe how this resource would be acquired, trained, rewarded, and reassigned after the project. All of these issues are important to meeting the needs of the project, the employees, and the organizations. Next, please. So the acquiring the project. So during the late 1990s, the IT job market became extremely competitive. So it was a seller's market with corporations competing fiercely for shrinking pool qualified experience. So in IT professionals in the early 2000s, the market declined tremendously. So the employers could be very selective in recruiting. So many organizations face a shortage of IT staff, regardless of the current job market. So however, the acquiring quality IT professionals is critical. So they're saying that project manager, who is the smartest person on the team, has done a poor job of recruiting. Next, please. Resource assignment. So after developing the staffing management plan, project managers must work with other. So people in the organizations to assign personnel to the projects or to acquire additional. So human resource need to staff the project. Managers with strong influence and negotiating skills are often good in getting internal people to work in their place. And next. Next, please. So resource loading. So project time management describe using network diagrams to help manage a project schedules. One of the problems or dangers inherent in the scheduling process is they often do not address the issue of resource utilization and availability. So this is why the development of critical chain and scheduling is so important. So schedule tend to focus primarily on time rather than both time and resources, which is include people. So an important measure of a project manager's success is how well he or she balance the trade-offs among performance, the time, and cost. Next, please. So resource leveling is a technique of resolving resource conflicts by delaying tasks. It is a form of network analysis in which resource management concerns drive scheduling decisions from start and finish dates. So the main purpose of resource leveling is to create a smoother distribution of resource usage. So project management examine the network diagram for areas of slack or float and to identify the resource conflicts. For example, you can sometimes remove over all locations by delaying non-critical tasks, so which does not result in the overall schedule delay. At other times, you will need to delay the project completion and date. Next, please. So developing the project team. So even a project manager has successfully recruited enough skilled people to work on the project, the project manager must ensure that people can work together as a team to achieve a goals. So many IT have talented people working on them, but takes a teamwork to complete most projects successfully. So the main goal of the team development is to help people work together more effectively to improve the project performance. Next, please. So here's the tools and techniques for the team development, including the training, team buildings, activities, and reward and recognitions, and so on. So the number one is forming involves. Okay, balik nga. Balik tada. Next. Okay. Forming involves the introduction of team members. It's either the initiation of the team or as a new members are introduced, the stage is necessary, but little work is actually achieved. Two is storming. It is occur when team members have different opinions for how the team should operate. So people test each other and there is often conflict within. Next. Norming is achieved when team members have developed common working method. So the cooperation and collaboration replace the conflict and mistrust of the previous phase. Four is performing a course. When the emphasis is on reaching the team's goals rather than working on the team process. So the relationship are settled and team members are likely to build loyalty toward each other. Five is adjourning. It is involved the breakup of the team after it successfully reaches its goals and completes the work. So yeah, here's the important tools and techniques for the team development. So number one is training. So the project managers often recommended that people take specific training courses to improve the individual and team development. So for example, from the opening case had gone through training in emotional intelligence and dealing with difficult people. So there was a family liar with a memorying technique and felt comfortable using the approach. Next is the team building. So team building is many organizations provide in-house team building, training activities, and many also use service provided by the external companies that specialize in the area. It is important to understand individual needs includes the learning styles, the past training, the physical limitations, and when determining team building training options. So the social style profile, many organizations also use the social style profile in team building activities. Psychologist David Merrill, who helped develop the Wilson Learning social styles profile, describe people as falling into four approximate behavioral profiles or zone based on their alternative and responsiveness. So this is similar to the social style profile. So that this profile uses four-dimensional model of normal behavior. So the four dimensions is dominance, influence, steadiness, and compliance. So provide the basis for the name DISC. It's the note that other similar terms are sometimes used for some of the letters, such as the stability for steadiness or consciousness for compliance. And the reward and recognition system. The other important tool for promoting team development is the use of team-based reward and recognition system. So if the management rewards teamwork, they will promote or reinforce the philosophy that people work for effectively in teams. So some organization offers the bonuses, trips, or other rewards to works that meets or exceed company for project goals. Next. Next, please. So managing the project team, in additional to developing the project team, the project manager must lead into the performing various project activities. Note that PMI uses the word managing the project team as the third process for a human resource management versus leading. So that wording is used here as well. So after assessing team performance and related informations, the project manager must decide if changes should be requested to the project or if are needed to enterprise environmental factors. Organizational process assets or the project manager plan. So project manager must be their soft skills to find best way to motivate and manage team member. Next, please. Next one. So here's the tools and techniques of managing project teams. The one is the observation and conservations. So project managers and managers need to be observed team members to work to assess how they perform and ask team members how they feel about their work. So many project managers like to practice management by walking around to physically see and hear their team members at work. Informal or formal conversation about how project is going can be provide crucial informations. For virtual workers, project managers can be observed and discuss work and personal issue via email, telephone, web conference, or other media. So project performance appraisals is just a managers provide performance. Oops. Nawala. Okay. So project performance appraisal, just managers provide performance appraisals for their workers. So project managers need a project performance appraisal, and types required vary depending on the length of the project. So it is complexity, organizational policies, contract requirements, and related communications. Wala na. Okay. So to be continue the project performance appraisals, a manager provide performance appraisals for their workers. So the need for the project performance appraisal, the types required vary depending on the length of the project. It is complexity, organizational, policies, contract requirements, and related communications. There's a project performance, interpersonal skills, conflict management. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. Next. Okay. So Blake and Moulton delineated 5 basic moods or strategy for handling the conflicts in their popular managerial grid. So here's the confrontation. Okay, next, please. So confrontation, when using the confrontation mood, next slide, please. Yan. Project manager face a conflict directly using the problem-solving approach that allows affect parties to work through their disagreements. Compromise mood. Project managers use give and take approach to resolving conflicts. So they bargain and search for the solutions and bring some degree of satisfaction to all the parties in dispute. Smoothing is when using smoothing mood is the project managers, they emphasizes or avoids areas of differences and emphasize areas of agreement. So this is the approach is also called accommodating. And this is the best use when the relationship is of high importance and the task is low importance. So forcing mood can be viewed as the win or lose approach to conflict resolution. The project managers exert their viewpoint at the potential expense of the another viewpoint. So if the task is of high importance and the relationship is of low importance, this mode can be very effective. So withdrawal, when you're using the withdrawal mode, so project managers retreat or withdraw from the actual or potential disagreement. So approach is also called avoiding. And this is normally the less desirable conflict handling mode unless the task and relationship are both of low importance. Collaborating is using the decision makers incorporate different points and insights, developing consensus and commitment. Next, please. So using software to assist in the human resources, earlier in this chapter, you read that simple responsibility assignment matrix is resource histograms are useful tools that can help the effective manage human resource projects. Next.
Okay, so stay lang po dyan sa presentation. Okay, to summarize the discussion about this human resource management, which is too important with project management, no? The main goals and responsibility of the human resource management, of course, is to retain low employee turnover rate by inspiring people to work for the company, to attract new employees, and to contribute to employee development. So, again, making the most effective use of the people involved with a project. So, why project human resource management? No? Processes include human resource planning, no? Identifying and documenting project rules, responsibilities, and reporting relationship, acquiring the project team, getting the needed personnel assigned to and working on the project, developing the project team, no? Building individual and group skills to enhance project's performance, managing the project team, of course, tracking team member performance, motivating team members, providing timely feedback, resolving issues and conflicts, and coordinating changes to help enhance project performance. The key to managing people, based on the psychologists, no, and management theorists, have devoted much research and thought to the field of managing people at work. So important areas related to project management include motivation theories, influence and power, and effectiveness. So we have what we call intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. So intrinsic causes people to participate in activity for their own enjoyment, while extrinsic causes people to do something for a reward or to avoid penalty. So for example, some people take piano lesson for intrinsic motivation or they enjoy it, while other people take them for extrinsic motivation to get a reward or avoid punishment. Now, a while ago, our presenter discussed about the Maslow hierarchy of needs. No? He argued that human beings possess unique qualities that enable them to make independent choices, thus giving them control of their destiny. No? Maslow develop a hierarchy of needs, no, which state the people's behaviors are guided or motivated by sequence of needs. Of course, number one, physiological, 2 is safety, 3 is social, 4 is esteem, and number 5, self-actualization. That is, a satisfied need is no longer a motivator. That is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. First, then for Birds, no, the motivational factors, achievement, recognition, the work itself, responsibility, advancement, and growth. These factors produce job satisfaction. Then another is hygiene factors, no, larger salaries, more supervision, and more attractive work environment. These factors cause dissatisfaction if not present, but do not motivate workers to do more. So, how about McClelland's? No? Specific needs are acquired or learned over time and are shaped by life experiences. So, the main categories of acquired needs, of course, achievement, affiliation, power, and power. For McGregor's theory X and Y, he popularized the human relation approach to management in 1960s. When we say theory X, no, assume workers dislike and avoid work, so manager must use coercion, threats, and various control schemes to get workers to meet objectives. Theory Y, assume individual consider work as natural as play or rest and enjoy the satisfaction of STEAM and self-actualization needs. The theory Z by William Ochi, and it is based on the Japanese approach to motivating workers, which emphasizes trust, quality, collective decision-making, and cultural values. For the Tamhain and Mons, ways to have influence on projects, of course, the authority, assignment, budget, promotion, money, penalty, work challenge, expertise, and friendship. Now, what are the ways to influence that help the hurt projects? Projects are more likely to succeed when project managers influence people using expertise and work challenge. Projects are likely to fail when project managers rely too heavily on authority, money, and penalty. Take note of it. The projects are more likely to succeed when project managers influence people using his expertise and work challenge. But the projects are more likely to fail when project managers rely too heavily on authority, money, and penalty. So when we say power, it is a potential ability to influence behavior to get people to do things they would not otherwise do. So what are the type of powers? So we have coercive, legitimate, expert, reward, and referent. The project managers can apply Covey's 7 habits to improve effectiveness on projects. So what are the 7 habits of effective people? Be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first thing first, think win-win solution, seek first to understand, then to be understood, synergize, then sharpen the saw. So the empathic listening in rapport, good project managers are empathic listener, meaning they listen with the intent to understand. Before you can communicate with others, you have to have rapport, which is relation of harmony, conformity, accord, or affinity. Then mirroring, is the matching of certain behavior of the other person and as a technique used to help establish rapport. The IT professionals need to develop empathic listening and other people skills to improve relationship with user and other stakeholders. Now, the organizational planning. It involves identifying and documenting project rules, responsibilities, and reporting relationship. Outputs required project organizational charts, staffing management plan, responsibility assignment matrices, and the resource histogram. So a while ago, our presenter discussed about the sample project organizational chart for a large IT projects. She has also give us an idea about the work definition and assignment process. We're in the steps, requirements finalization. So how work will be done, break down the work, and assign the work. The responsibility assignment matrices, or matrix, or the RAM, is a matrix that maps the work of the project as described in the work breakdown structure to the people responsible for performing the work as described in the OBS. It can be created in different ways to meet unique project needs. So in sample responsibility assignment matrix, of course, we have the system engineering, software development, hardware development, test engineering, quality assurance, configuration management, integrated logistics support, and training. So when it comes to RAM showing stakeholder roles, we need to identify the accountable, the participant, the review required, input required, and sign-off required with the unit test, integration test, system test, and user acceptance test, which is too important. Okay? Now, how about the staffing management plans and resource histograms? A staffing management plan describes when and how people will be added to and taken off the project teams. Okay? A resource histogram is a column chart that shows the number of resources assigned to a project over time. So for example, how many people? For example, 7. So by January, we need, for example, a managers, a business analyst, a programmers, and a technical writers. In acquiring the project team, no, acquiring qualified people for team is crucial. That's why during your capstone project 1, you are the one who identify your group mates because it's too crucial. No, the project manager who is the smartest person on the team has done a poor job of recruiting. Sometimes, since he is my friend or she is my colleagues in high school and so on, I will include in my team. No? Staffing plans and good hiring procedures are important, as are incentives for recruiting and retention. Some companies give their employees $1 for every hour that a new person who they help hire works. And some organizations allow people to work from home as an incentive. Why people leave their jobs? So sometimes, no, we need also to ask this one. Of course, sometimes they feel they do not make a difference. No? They are always doing these things Monday to Friday, then another Monday to Friday, and so on and so forth. They do not get proper recognition. For example, if they are able to accomplish a project, no, but no recognition, no, they are not learning anything new or growing as a person. So as I mentioned earlier, his task, no, is the same ever since he started. So for example, if he is working for 5 years with the same content of work or job descriptions, so maybe, no, they are not learning. They do not like their coworkers. No, sometimes, no, even I have a good salary, I have a good but very challenging task, but I don't want my boss sometimes, no? So they do not like their coworkers and they want to earn more money. For example, you are working for 6 years. You started, for example, the salary is 20,000 per month. Then after 6 years, still 20,000 per month. So therefore, a good employee, no, especially a very talented employee, looking forward to have a promotion at the same time, additional salary. Resource loading. So it refers the amount of individual resource an existing schedule requires during specific time periods. The resource loading helps project manager develop a general understanding of the demands of a project will make on the organization resources and individual people's schedule. Sometimes we have over allocation. No, it means more resources than are available are assigned to perform work at a given time. So the resource leveling is a technique of resolving resource conflict by delaying tasks. No, the main purpose of resource leveling is to create a smoother distribution of resource use and reduce over allocations. If you still remember our PERT diagram, no, last time, no, and we have, for example, for 1 week, this task will be able to finish for 2 days. Then another task for 5 days, and so on and so forth. Then we could able to get the days on how we'll be able to accomplish this project. The benefits of the resource planning or resource leveling, I mean, when resources are used on a more constant basis, they require less management. It may enable project managers to use a just-in-time inventory type of policy for using subcontractors or other expensive resources. It results in fewer problems for project personnel and the accounting department. It often improves morale. In developing the project team, the main goal of team development is to help people work together more effectively to improve project performance. It takes teamwork, no, to successfully complete the most project. So, Tacman model of team development, our presenter discussed, forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. When it comes to training, which is also important for a new employee or a new hired employee, or even for those who are working for almost 5 years, but there are new developments, no? specifically in developing project, training can help people understand themselves in each other and understand how to work better in teams. No, the team building activities, of course, include physical challenges and psychological preference indicator tools. So again, we need to consider the 4 dimension, no? The extrovert, introvert, the sensation, intuition, the thinking and feeling, judgment, and perception. Now, the social style profile, people are perceived as behaving primarily in one of 4 zones based on their assertiveness and responsiveness. Drivers, expressives, analyticals, and amiables. Now, people on opposite corners, no, may have difficulty getting along, no, because the social type, we have the what we call people-directed responsiveness and task-directed responsiveness. No? The analytical, the driver, the amiable, and the expressive. Now, a while ago, you've heard from me about the reward and recognition system. The team-based reward and recognition system can promote teamwork. No? Focus on rewarding teams for achieving specific goals. So allow time for team members to mentor and help each other to meet project goals and develop human resources. That's why right after your defense, the panels now give you a grades. This will be your reward. No? So it depends if it's just pass or failed. No? In managing the project team, now the project manager must lead their teams in performing various project activities. After assessing team performance and related information, the project manager must decide if changes should be requested to the project, if corrective or preventive action should be recommended, or if updates are needed to the project management plan or organizational process assets. The tools and techniques for managing project teams, we have the observation and conversations. We have the project performance appraisals. Sometimes majority of the company are using the matrix, no, or the rubrics. Conflict management is also important, and the issue lags. The general advice on teams, you need always to be patient and kind with your team members, especially if you are the project manager. Fix the problem instead of blaming people or your co-members. So for example, you may encounter problem with a database, no? And the persons assigned were not able to deliver, no, the correct database. So instead of blaming the people, fix the problem. Establish regular and effective meetings. This will be the problem, no? For example, if your defense, for example, is May, first week, you start doing your meeting 1 week before. So as a project manager, as a leader, it is important for you to establish a regular meeting. But it must be effective meetings, right? Allow time for teams to go through the basic team building stages and limit the size of work teams to 3 to 7 members as much as possible, especially for middle or large projects. You need also to plan some social activities to help project team members and other stakeholders get to know each other better. Stress team identity, nurture team members and encourage them to help each other and take additional actions to work with virtual members. So there are some software to assist in human resource management. No? Software can help produce RAMs and resource histogram. So by using project management software for human resource management, you can assign resources, you can identify potential resource shortage or underutilization, and you can level resources. Project resource management involves much more than using software because project managers must treat people with consideration and respect, understand what motivates people, communicate carefully with people, and focus on your goal of enabling project team members to deliver their best work. Okay? To summarize, of course, the project human resource management include the process required to make the most effective use of the people involved with the project. The main processes of the project human resource management are human resource planning, acquiring the project team, developing the project team, and managing the project team.